Yes, like I said, Vesa Riihimäki, I'm coming from Nordea, and relevant for this road trip, I think, is the fact that 11 years ago I started gradually building the startup and growth segment or business what we have inside Nordea nowadays. It means today that we have 5,000 startups and scalable late-stage companies as our banking customers in Nordics. Half of them in Finland because we started this from Helsinki, rolled it out later on to all countries. And we have two key external values. The first one is that we grant different kind of startup and growth company loans for these companies that traditional banks, of course, try to stay away because of the risk related. That's at least how they think. And the second value nowadays is our global VC growth and buyout investor network. We have more than 300 global players in our active network, and we pro bono connect our customers looking for equity and then our VC partners. That's in short what I'm up to. What excites me most business-wise is all those cases that we have a lot of fintech companies, of course, as our customers as well, but that kind of cases which are low burn and high growth, those are really interesting, of course, for the VC funds as well, and they are typical cases where we as well can help them. And there are several of those in my mind, but maybe I keep the names with me. Even though I previously maybe said that fintech as a trend is slightly going down compared to some other sectors, and the low burn and high growth is something that is needed. Anyhow, looking at our customer base and what the global VCs are talking to us, it is still obvious that long term this will stay as a really interesting investment target as a sector and individual companies. But I think that will last pretty long, that this kind of relatively low burn and high growth models are the ones that are getting the equity and getting the growth loans and getting to win, you know, in the sector. Regardless whether it's fintech or something else, but you always should have one or some concrete customer cases where you can understand whether you really have some value worth of money for some of the partners or some of the customers. And when you have that, try to find that kind of areas or challenges where you know that is not that capital intensive. Examples are where I see many, in a way, more easy ways to make a great success case are around RegTech, administration related items to lower down, you know, the manual processes inside the bank, or to help the customers as well to smoothen out the process admin-wise as well. And in those areas, of course, there's still a lot to be done, and that's many cases they are not that capital intensive to make a great case and a global case. What has mostly stuck into my head is the huge amount of competence, you know. But that's I'm used to that during the 10 years working with hundreds and thousands of startups. You know that there are so many clever minds around you all the time, but very concrete today as well here in Stockholm. The bright ideas, brilliant people, clever ways to solve big problems, and that's what Grasp has so far been the feeling. On a road trip, of course, because I'm from Helsinki, I would go first stop in Helsinki, take one or two biggest of our own fintech clients with me and fly to Silicon Valley and maybe meet Andersen and Horowitz and one or two more players that have been the past years extremely active in the fintech field and discuss with them how they see the coming 5 years in the field.